My plan was to surprise my husband with lunch at his office, but the surprise was on me. I discovered him kissing. My name is Stella, and I remember the sound before anything else. A wet, greedy sound. When I pushed open the office door, I wasn't prepared for the sight of my husband's lips crushed against hers. His hand was fisted in her hair, just like I had once dreamed he'd hold mine. I froze, but not out of shock. No, it was out of pure calculation. It was the kind of stillness a predator possesses before they strike. Luis pulled back, startled, his mouth still wet with betrayal. Isla turned and smirked at me as if I had walked into her own house. I was 8 months pregnant, standing there with the lunch I had spent an hour preparing. My swollen hands balanced the bag like a peace offering. "Really?" I whispered. His laugh was the sound of something breaking deep inside me. Not bone, not flesh, but something deeper. Something that does not heal. Isla rose, her eyes sharp, and before I could move, her foot shot out directly at my stomach. White-hot pain tore through me, and I crumpled. Luis's laugh echoed while I gasped on the floor, clutching my belly. That's when the door opened, and their faces dropped. Back then, I thought it was fate. The night I met Edward, he had rescued me from a drunk man at a bar. He was the perfect gentleman, the kind who opened doors and remembered coffee orders. I mistook his charm for loyalty. I mistook my own hunger for love. He gave me a sense of security, and I gave him my complete devotion. Together we built a life, or so I thought. But the cracks began to show early on. There were late nights at the office, and his phone was always face down. There was a cologne I didn't recognize lingering on his shirt. At first, I told myself not to be paranoid. I had grown up watching my mother search for lies in my father's silence, and I swore I wouldn't live like that. Then one night, Luis came home with lipstick on his collar. Red? I don't wear red. I didn't confront him. Not yet. I swallowed the bile in my throat and smiled as he kissed me goodnight. I learned then that patience was a weapon. The day after the office, after Isla's kick, after Luis's laugh, I made a decision. I would not cry. I would not beg. I would not give them the satisfaction of watching me shatter. Instead, I planned. First, I gathered proof. Every text, every call, every credit card statement, quietly, methodically. While he thought I was bedridden, too fragile to notice, I was documenting his downfall. Next, I secured my child's future. I opened accounts in my name, moved money quietly, and contacted the best divorce attorney in New York. Not just any lawyer, but a shark who specialized in destroying men like him. Then I waited. The confrontation came 2 weeks later. I invited both Luis and Isla to lunch under the pretense of reconciliation, a final attempt to talk things through. Luis arrived smugly, holding her hand. Isla wore my favorite color, as if to taunt me. I sat across the table, calm, my hands folded over my stomach. "I wanted us all together," I said softly, "so the truth can be spoken plainly." Luis chuckled. "Truth? You can't handle the truth." Isla's laugh followed his, cruel and shrill. That's when I slid the folder across the table. Inside were bank records, photos, messages, and even her pregnancy test receipts. Yes, she had tried to trap him too. Their laughter died. "You've both underestimated me," I whispered, my voice steady. "You thought I was weak because I loved you. Because I carried your child. Because I didn't fight back the moment you struck me. But weakness is not silence. Silence is strategy." Luis's face drained of color, and Isla's contorted in fury. "My lawyer has everything," I continued. "By the end of this week, the house, the accounts, the car, they're gone. All legally mine." My eyes lingered on him. "And your reputation? Your board will know about your affair with your assistant, about how you laughed while your pregnant wife was attacked in your office. Every door you once opened for me, I will now close for you." Isla's hand slipped from his. He looked at her as if she were suddenly poisonous. That was my first victory, turning them on each other. The climax came quietly, not with screaming, but with silence. He tried to beg. his voice cracking as he pleaded that he didn't mean it. She tried to defend herself, but the evidence was ironclad. I stood, pushed in my chair, and looked at them one last time. "You'll remember that day," I said, "when you laughed at me on the floor. But you'll remember this day, more because this is the day I stopped being your victim." Then I walked out. The resolution didn't come instantly. Revenge isn't a thunderclap. It's a slow burn, a steady unraveling. Within a month, he was out of the house he once called his kingdom. His company voted him out. The scandal too loud to ignore. She was gone too. Pregnant, abandoned. Her name was whispered like a warning in every office hallway. And me, I rebuilt piece by piece, stronger and sharper. My child was born into peace, not chaos. I carried the scars, yes, but also the power of knowing I had taken back control. When I look back now, I don't see a woman broken on the floor of her husband's office. I see the woman who stood back up. I see the silence that cut deeper than screams. I see the strategy that turned betrayal into justice. And I see their faces the moment the door opened, when they realized the game had ended and I was the one holding the checkmate. Do let me know in the comments section what lesson you get from this story. Thanks.